What's going on, everybody? And today I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be going over US30. And I have a little announcement. I'm actually going to stop. I'm not going to be going over the pairs I usually go over anymore. I usually go over US30, NAS 100, DXY, gold, GBP, JPY, and Bitcoin. But I'm just going to strictly only start doing US30 breakdowns on my channel, because at the end of the day, I don't really trade anything besides US30. The only reason I was doing markups was for other people to learn in case they do trade it. But if you want to understand the way I look at other pairs and you want to see how I analyze anything besides US30, then you're going to have to join my free Telegram chat, which is, the link is in the bio. And you can see we have 38 people right now. I go over US30 analysis every day. I go over trees. You get the videos, the links here first. I have one-on-one interactions with everyone. I answer questions, and I just overall just do what needs to be done to help everyone else get to where they want to be. So now that we got that little thing out the way, let's start off on US30. So first things first, we're going to start off on the weekly time frame, and I'm going to be showing you guys why I believe US30 is still going to be bullish. So first things first, the first thing that comes to my eyes is this last down candle before this up move right here, and this is going to be our weekly bullish order block. Personally, I'm not going to leave these weekly markups on here because it's not going to affect my trading, but I'm going to just give you a nice little breakdown. So right here, this down candle before this up move is our weekly bullish order block, and if you mitigate it to get to 50%, you can see that this area has been traded into 1, 2, 3 times, and now we're starting to reject for the third time. And another reason that I believe price is going to continue bullish is, for one, price had this liquidity grab of breaking this previous week's low and then trading all the way back up and then breaking the high. So this is showing me that price has a willingness of wanting to see higher prices after rejecting this weekly bullish order block multiple times. And if you even want to go deeper into it and you want to pull your fib from this low to the high, you can see that it reacted to this area perfectly. And that's not our only confirmation. You also can see that this is 34,000 if you look to the right here. This is our 34,000 level. So there's a lot of confirmations for why price should continue bullish from here. So now that we know that overall in the weekly time frame we're expecting to have a bullish week, we're going to move on to the daily time frame and look at our daily analysis. So now that we got our weekly bias out the way, we also got to keep in mind what's happening on the daily chart. So first thing that I see is this daily order block right here that price is trading off of right now. We came a little bit, we had a deep retracement into it. As you can see, if you pull the 50%, price came to that 50% of this order block perfectly before then having this sharp move to the upside. This is making, if you guys know what a double top and double bottom is, I personally don't like to use those terms, but if you see, this is a W, which is, in other words, a double bottom. And you can see that, like I said, we broke these lows and then traded up immediately. So this is showing the willingness to want to see higher prices, because we took the liquidity, traded into an area that we were likely to see a reaction from, and look what's happening. We're seeing that reaction. So now we know we're overall bullish on the weekly time frame and the daily time frame. So we overall know that we could see a reaction to the downside going into this week, but overall we're expecting to end the week with a bullish move. So now that we have that, we have our daily order block marked up. We got to look at areas that price is likely to target. And an area that price is likely to target that is in a close vicinity is, if you look at this right here, this is also another daily order block, but this is classified as a daily bearish order block. Didn't mean to get rid of that, meant to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of this order block right here, this daily one, because we already have it mitigated. So we don't want to see price trade back into it. If price trades back into this range and starts to break this low, at that point I'm expecting price to come and try to get this sell side liquidity below this low. So we have this daily order block up here, and if you look right under it, this wick to this wick right here, this was a fair value gap that didn't fully get filled yet. So we still have from this wick to fill in. So now we have that. We know that there's daily order block in this area. We have a fair value gap. We could also match this area up with 34,800, which is a key big figure level that we got to keep in mind. So right, 34,800 is right here. 34,800, we have the daily order block, and we have this fair value gap that we are looking to target. And if you also pull your fib from this high that started this move that broke these lows and pull it to the low, it also has the fib confluence also. And you can see that 38.20% was not respected, so there's no point in having that. Price came close to 62%, but I still think it's likely to still trade higher. And if you even pull this fib from this high, just like this, you can see it also matches up. The 62 matches up with the 60 with this daily order block. And if you pull this from this high up here, you can see it's still in the general area. But I'm going to stick to holding this because this is the overall move that we're looking at. So now let's move on to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so now you can see price cleared these lows. We're going to make this red. Clear these lows before having this expansion to the top side. And when this happens, this is a example of a false break scenario where price will do whatever it does, create liquidity to get taken out to then trade to the other direction. So if you guys ever wonder why your stop loss gets hit and then the price action moves in that direction afterwards, this is why. Price targets liquidity, and liquidity is at equal highs, equal lows, equal highs, equal lows, swing highs, and swing lows. That is where liquidity lies. And if you don't know what liquidity is in the shape and form of buy stops, sell stops, all of that stuff. So you can see all these red lines that I'm delineating right now, these are all areas of liquidity that we will be looking to target sometime in the future. Maybe not Sunday, maybe not Monday, but sometime soon, price is more than likely going to target these areas. And you can even draw it down here, another one, but I'm just going to leave this one here because since we cleared it, this is making a relative equal low that will more than likely get traded through in the future. So we just have that there. So now that we're on the 4-hour time frame, what is happening? You can see that price had this move to the top side and now is losing momentum. So we are likely to see some sort of retracement before potentially trading even higher. So in order for us to map out where price is likely to retrace to, we're going to pull our fib from the low that started this expansion at this consolidation and pull it to the high that price is currently at as of right now. And what does this match up with? Personally, this is a tricky situation because some will say that this right here, this last down candle before the up move will be classified as a daily order block, but some will also say this last down candle before this up move will be also classified as a 4-hour order block, not daily, my bad, 4-hour order block. So this is a potential area that we'll be looking to target, and this area just happens to be right at 34,000, which is an area that we were looking at on the higher time frame. So let's mark that up also, because we always got to keep in mind these big figure levels, because at these levels is where you're going to see a lot of reaction due to the fact that these are the levels that banks trade on, and these are the levels that major orders are getting placed on. So now we have this 34,800 that has a lot of confirmations for the downside. We're going to keep this area in mind. So we have that. So now we understand if price does come higher, we're going to be looking to see possible consolidation in this area before potentially, it's just not trying to delete shit right there, before potentially then seeing a downside to potentially come back to this 4-hour order block, maybe consolidate before potentially trying to go for higher prices. So that's one scenario that we mapped out down here, and we have another scenario up here. Now we can move on to looking for other areas that price is likely to target. Now we're going to do that by going to the 1 hour, and this is when we're going to get deeper into the day trade side, because now we understand through the weekly, the daily, and the 4-hour time frames. We understand the overall perspective of where we want to see the market go long term going into this week. So now going on to the daily, the 1 hour time frame, we can map out where price is likely to go on a short-term intraday basis. So first thing that I'm noticing right now is on the hourly, we have this big expansion that just price continued to push upwards and they just didn't have a form of retracement. So I'm already expecting to have a retracement coming into this week. And if you even pull this and get the 38.20%, you can see that this is an area of confluence also. Why is this an area of confluence? Because look at this right here. My iPad just fell. I don't know why. But if you look at this, this is classified as a breaker. This will be a 2-hour breaker block due to the fact that it's two 1-hour candles. So if you go to the 2-hour time frame, you can see, matter of fact, this is even a 2-hour breaker. Interesting. But this could be classified as a breaker right here. These 2 up candles are, you can even just do the top candle if you want, but personally I would use these 2 up candles, considering the fact that we are close to this 34,000 area, close to this 4-hour order block, and we're close to this 38.20%. So we could likely see some sort of retracement to this area, possibly lower, before then seeing those higher prices that we're anticipating coming into this week. So now we have that. Let's mark up these 1-hour order blocks also, because these are not as high probability as our 4-hour and daily order blocks, but they're always good to understand because more than likely we're still going to see reactions in this area. So I just marked up 2 1-hour order blocks. One is in the middle of this consolidation where price had this expansion after having a short retracement right here. We had this push up, had a retracement, push higher. Now we're expecting price to have another retracement to come lower before having to push higher. So we have this 4-hour order block marked up here. We have a 1-hour order block. We have our 38.20% continuation level. We have this 2-hour breaker block in confluence with these 2 areas, and then we have our fib from the higher time frame, also from our 4-hour fib. So that's that. And you can see as of right now, what do we see? You see how right here we're anticipating price to have a push to this breaker block to potentially see higher prices. What is price doing right now? It's having a similar setup. So if you look at this last down candle before this up move right here, this is also considered a breaker block right here, and that is currently where price is at. So now we see that price is in this area, losing the momentum, didn't trade into an order block, but it traded into this area that filled this fair value gap right here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, from this candle's low to this candle's high, you can see that there was a fair value gap that got filled in almost perfectly. So now you can see that price is likely going to have that retracement to see lower prices. And not only is that a fair value gap, you can also see that this just happens to be at around 34,500 also. If I were to pull this line all the way over, you can see how close it got to having that rejection. So you can anticipate prices more than likely going to have a retracement before potentially seeing these higher prices. I'll fix it later. 34,500. Just understand that level right there. Damn, I don't know. I'm trading you acting nutty right now. All right. So now we understand what's happening on the weekly, the 4-hour, the daily, and now we're understanding what's happening on the 1-hour time frame. So from here, we basically have our markups done. We're anticipating a reaction, a retracement to then have a reaction in this level to potentially see higher prices. Price isn't going to have this expansion that's going to be like this, but this is just a general idea of what I want to see price do. It's going to have minor retracements, is going to have consolidations inside of this move, but overall we're expecting price to see high prices clear this liquidity before coming at least to this daily order block all the way up here at around 34,800. So that's one setup we have. Or price can continue to go higher, trade at this 1-hour order block before trading lower. Or our last setup will be prices continues to trade higher when the market opens, comes to this daily order block to then have that retracement. So these are some setups that we're potentially going to be looking for this week. Why? Because we overall know we're bullish. So we're anticipating to get the best case scenario of buys, because we know based on the weekly that we rejected this order block, this weekly order block. We know we rejected this daily order block also, and we're having this push above. So we're anticipating price to continue this up move to keep seeing higher prices. So these are some moves I'm looking at. Now I'm on the 15-minute. The 15-minute is where I usually do all of my trading. I do my analysis on the higher time frame, but then I get into trades on around the 15 to the 5-minute time frame. And the last thing we're going to do is mark up our previous Asian range. Friday's Asian range, which is right here. And if you don't know why I have the Asian range, just look up my last 2 videos ago. I did a explanation on why the Asian range is so important. And if now it'll come back to this, what do you notice about the Asian range? What do you notice? The first thing I notice is that the high of this Asian range is in confluence with all these areas that we were looking at before. So what does that tell you? This area down here is very high probability. High probability to see a potential move from this area. 34,000 is more than likely going to see a move from this area, and that's just what it is. So going into this week, I know that we are more than likely going to see a move from 34,000, even if it's not a move that just goes up 1,000 pips. It's a move that I'm looking to take advantage on. Why? Because we have high probability confirmations based on our higher time frame. So what I'm basically expecting, the best confirmation I'm looking for, the best scenario, this one here. I'm looking for a retracement to 34,000 coming into Sunday and going into Monday, to then potentially getting into good areas to potentially hold going into the end of this week to see higher prices based off of our high time frame analysis. So this is personally what I'm expecting for US30 based off of what I see right now. Everything could change at the end of the day. The market conditions change. We could have news. And you also got to keep in mind that if you guys were paying attention to the news or just the US Treasury, you would know that the US Treasury is planning to lose all of their money by October 18th, 2021. And right now it is currently October 2nd. So coming into these next few weeks, when October 18th comes around, we could potentially see a lot of volatility in the market. The market is either going to have a big drop, or it's not really going to affect it, and it's just basically just to scare people off from investing at the end of the day, just to get the people that are holding out, just so they could stop, for then the market to potentially overall have a range on the higher time frame before seeing higher prices like US30 always does. Because looking at US30 on the higher time frame, what is it doing 90% of the time? It's moving up. We have these small retracements. You can see we had small retracements down here when price traded into it. Didn't trade into it, but you can see from the high and low of this last down candle, price traded into that before trading higher. And you can see that is what we're doing right now. We're trading into this last down candle for its up move before potentially trading higher. And we already see we broke the low, cleared the liquidity, started to trade up with a lot of volume, cleared the high, and now we're having a retracement to potentially see higher prices and clear these highs all the way up here. So this is my analysis on US30. If you guys want to see me do any other analysis on things such as gold, GJ, NAS 100, DXY, or any exotic or cross forex pairs, stock pair, anything crypto pairs, just make sure you join the link. Join my Telegram. The link is going to be in the bio as I stated, and I will be going over it here. And even if you don't want to join the free Telegram, you can just make sure you tune in to my daily live streams that I do every morning when I'm live trading US30. And if you want, just ask some questions, and when I have the free time, I could just go over any pair that you want me to. So that's really it. I'm going to end this video here. You guys know my predictions for US30 going into this week and what I'm expecting and why I'm expecting it. Nothing crazy. This is simple things I do every single week. I look for the same things, and I just anticipate where price is likely to have its reactions from. So yeah, that's it. If you guys like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm constantly posting videos every week. I'm posting about 8 to 10 videos a week now. I used to post about 3, but I'm just going hard right now trying to get us up, and you can see the subscribers and the view counts going up. So I appreciate all of you, and that's really it. If this video was helpful, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.